foresee. We got to clean it up now, guys. It's being recorded. So Neil, Bill, Robert, just, keep rein it in.
All right, we got about 1 minute to go. Starting. We have one person joining by telephone only. Can you identify yourself? Sometimes that's Tyler. Often it's Renee, but she's in the room today, so I know it's not her. Well, welcome to everybody. We'll get started in just a moment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Marie, I just found a portable green screen that attaches to the back side of my high back chair. And it was like 22 bucks on Walmart.com. So I just said, go ahead and order it. It'll be here on the 17th. So it's like a little, kind of like one of the floaty things you'd put in the swimming pool, I imagine. It's a green screen, so we'll see. Merry Christmas to me.
Okay with you? Good afternoon, Cary Rotary Club.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the friendliest and cheeriest group of Rotarians in District 7710. It's great to be with you here today. Did I hear a word of dissent? Oh, gotcha. What better? Well, great to have everybody together today. To start our meeting, can I call on Camille Hedrick to lead us in the prayer and the pledge?
Do it when she's out of breath.
Please join me in prayer. Let's pray silently together, each one of us, according to our individual beliefs. Let's offer thanks for our food and blessings for one another. Let's be a source of hope for those in need and contentment for those who are lonely. Let's give gratitude for our opportunity to serve Rotary. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America.
Amen.
God bless America. God bless us, everyone. All right, can I ask Dr. Charlie to introduce our guests and visitors today?
Well, we have one guest, Paul Sossman as a guest. Unless there are others, Paul can make the introduction.
I'd like to introduce Stuart Shirk. He's our guest today.
Welcome, Stuart. Yeah. Short and sweet. Paul, we got to get you in the line of succession if you're going to be that short and sweet, I tell you. Okay. Next. Welcome back, Renee. You have an update for us on some of our giving activities.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't be at the party Tuesday night.
We are too.
I want to thank all of you that reached out to me for the prayers for our son Daniel. He's got some issues with his back, but they're, we think, treatable, and he was released to go back to work today. So anyway, the worst of it seems to be over, which was our worry. But anyway, thank you all so much. The party sounded like it went off well, and the donation drive we began for Myra's Angels, we raised $445. So I think money will be sent over to Myra's Angels with the intent to supply a lot of bags for those kids. So anyway, thank you all for giving from your heart and for your prayers. And so thanks.
Don't go away. Please, Renee, because before you go, I just think that I would like to lead the club in a very large appreciation for all of the work that you put in, the care. It was a fantastic event, enjoyed by all, and you were well missed. And so I just want to thank you for everything that you did.
Thank you.
Contributor. In a moment. So continuing with our seasonal philanthropy, we put the first 3 days of our bell ringing under our belt. Thank you to all of you that stood out in the warm or cold or rain or sun over the last 3 days. By all accounts, it's been a very successful start. We do have 5 more ringing days scheduled next week. There are a few slots still available. I think there are about 8 slots that are still available for the Sign Up Genius. We've got the highly coveted 2 o'clock Christmas Eve slot that has traditionally been covered by Dr. Mann and his son. But they're ringing a day early. They're getting a head start on the Christmas holiday. So we've got a full shift open on Christmas Eve if you're so inclined, and a couple of others too. So please take a look at that if you can. David Coulter. Sorry, I caught you with your mouth.
Mouthful. Thank you, President Bob. So we have a program committee meeting this afternoon after this meeting. These are wonderful opportunities for all of you to participate, whether you're a program member or not. We'd love to hear from you on speakers. The program committee does a great job, and we're also looking for people who want to join the committee. These are coveted positions. So
I believe there's only 1 or 2 slots available, so you would want to get there soon. That's right. All right. If you haven't looked at it yet, I want to encourage you to take a look at the District 7710 newsletter, District Connections newsletter that was published at the end of last week. Our club is prominently featured with a wonderful picture of Jim Lovejoy and other Rotarians, and Gail, that's right, and 3 other Rotarians. I think Paul was taking the picture, so we had 3 representatives at the Cary gifting tree, if I'm correct. Paul was not there. Scheduling conflict. I put you on the spot, Paul. I apologize for that. At any rate, we were featured as participating in the Cary gifting tree. Thank you, Jim and Gail, for participating on a Friday afternoon for that. Also in that newsletter are a number of upcoming dates on the calendar that I wanted to just highlight. Like they used to say on TV, on those KTEL commercials, act before midnight tomorrow in order to get the early bird pricing for the district conference, which will be held in May, Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th of May in Winston-Salem. If you've never been before, you get a further discount to $99 to attend. So check that out online. RLI, the Rotary Leadership Institute training that a number of members have participated in and had great experiences. The next session is the 29th of January. It'll be in Clayton. So see me if you, I highly encourage you to get involved with that. See me if you have an interest. There's a district assembly Saturday, February 19th, that'll be held in person from noon to 2 at Greenwood Forest Church. It'll also be live streamed for those of you that want to attend that way. There's a day of service that you'll hear a lot more about in April of this year at a district level. And of course, the international convention is in Houston next June. More immediately, we have a chili dinner. Rod, can you have a quick word on the chili dinner?
Yes, thank you, President Bob. 2 quick words to share with you about our chili dinner by way of update. You ready? Momentum. We are doing great. I want to let you know we already have pledges committed of more than $20,000. So we are well on our way. I want to thank our event sponsors, our presenting sponsors, our name sponsors, everyone who has already committed. We are making great progress. For our guests and Stuart and Marie online, you know, this club has a huge commitment to ending hunger in our community and around the world. And over the last 18 years, this is our 19th annual chili dinner. Over the last 18 years, we've raised more than $508,000, more than $500,000 towards international and domestic hunger relief. So we have a lot to be proud of, a lot to build on, and we're super excited about this year's event. Hope you saw the email that I sent out last Friday. If you didn't receive that, look for it in your spam folder or what have you. There's lots of information there about the date of this year's event. Our virtual event will be taking place February 2nd, 2022. There's also details about the new raffle that's part of this year's event, so more exciting stuff. So please be sure and look for the email and let me know if you have any questions. If you haven't already renewed your sponsorship, if you were a sponsor in the past and you haven't renewed yet, please reach out to me or anyone else on the Chili Dinner Committee, and we'll get you re-signed up for this year. Thanks everybody for your support. It's going to be a great event.
Thank you, Rod. February 2nd, circle it on your calendar. Also, circle Sunday, February 27th on your calendar. It's Rotary Goes to the Canes Game Day, national. So 2/27 at 1 p.m. Yes, Rod.
I'm sorry for
This sounds like it's going to be bad news,
No,
right?
I realized I misspoke. It's actually Tuesday, February 1st.
Okay.
The chili dinner.
Chili dinner is Tuesday, February 1st. Circle that date, and then remember Groundhog Day, February 2nd. On the 27th, those that are interested can go to the Hurricanes game. We've always had a great turnout, 50, 60 people with our families through the great work of Don Finkbeiner and Eric Schmidt. We made arrangements for side bowl seats at a discounted price, $66.50. You'll hear more of that to come. But if you're a hockey fan, and who wouldn't be, Sunday the 27th is the day to go. In addition to any other times you want to go. Before we get to our guest speaker, are there any miracle moments today that we want to share? Dr. Mann.
I have a 31st wedding anniversary for Beth and I. And some of you may know my son, Evan. He's going to help me talk about it. He is engaged to Jess. No, right. She's from Virginia and no further details.
Just interesting.
Congratulations, Charlie. Those are details on a need to know basis, apparently. Good for you. Any others? All right, well then, if you'll give me just a moment to resituate and get Miss Mary Cam on our audio, we can introduce our speaker.
He doesn't want to speak. We'll check him out further.
Yep. Thank you. Oh.
Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, good.
All right, we're ready? Great. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today, past District Governor Marie Shoemaker Howard. who's not only the past district governor, but she's also my friend. And I'm so glad that she's here with us today to talk to us about our foundation. Marie was born and raised in Michigan. She has a master's of science in clinical nutrition and served as 4 years in the Army as a dietitian. But most of her 40-year career was in sales and marketing for nutrition and biotech companies. A highlight, she says, was spending 2 years in Switzerland working for Nestle as a global marketing manager. She joined Rotary in 2011 and has served as club treasurer, club president, assistant governor, and then in 2019-2020, she served as our district governor. She's been instrumental in starting several new Rotary clubs and satellite clubs, and has served as the district's innovative club advocate from July 2020 through July 2021. Marie was named District Rotary Foundation Chair for a 3-year period beginning July of this year. She and her husband, David, also a Rotarian, are committed to supporting humanitarian service through the Rotary Foundation and are passionate about Rotary as a vehicle to make a difference in our community and abroad. Please welcome my friend and our past district governor, Marie Howard.
Thank you, Mary. I really appreciate the invitation, and it's great to be among the friendliest and most excited Rotary Club in the district again. I had forgotten that moniker, but it brings back very fond memories. So again, thank you for the invitation. So I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully everything will work here. Do we see my pictures? Good. Okay. So it's my honor to serve as your district foundation chair, and it's a complex topic, this foundation, and I'm really happy to have the support of several seasoned people to support the district, Mary being one. I can't imagine how many phone calls I've had with Mary saying, what do we do again with this grants thing? Anyway, it's great to have seasoned folks working alongside me here. So my relationship with the foundation has changed and evolved over the years, but today I'm going to share with you a bit of my experience, how my parents, my hometown, the foundation, and a grandmother in a hijab changed my life, and ask you what's in store for you with the foundation. Today I'll answer why give to the foundation, what types of initiatives are supported, how can you donate to meet your personal philanthropic goals, and for those on Zoom, feel free to add your questions in chat and I'll try to catch up with them as we go along. So to answer why give to the foundation, I'm going to share a personal story. I grew up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is a Rust Belt town in the 50s and 60s. It had a population of about 80,000 people. When I was in elementary school, there were 24 houses on our block and 26 kids in those houses, and they were all basically my age. And it was a great place to grow up. During the last 3 years we lived on this particular block, when I was about 10 to 13, my parents created a family tradition. Each year someone in the house would handcraft a gift for each of the 5 households with elders on our block. And then in December, about this time of year, we would make an appointment with the elderly family and visit them for about an hour. It was a great tradition. It was an opportunity to get to know our neighbors and to spread a little holiday cheer. The first year, my dad made some pottery. Second year, my mom baked some bread, and then I baked some cookies. These small gifts, again, were a way to get to know our elderly neighbors that might otherwise be overlooked. And it left a lasting impression on me. Then in the decades after I graduated high school and left town, the town began to falter as industries moved away and the population began to decline. But in 2005, a small group of private donors created a nonprofit providing free 4-year undergraduate education to students of the Kalamazoo public school system. This helped to promote the local economy and of course promoted education. In the first 10 years of the Kalamazoo Promise, over $75 million was dedicated or invested in 4,000 students. The population has begun to rebound and graduation from college within 6 years has increased by about a third. And of course, students graduate with much less debt. So my parents taught me the acts of personal kindness and the value that they provide. And my hometown leaders demonstrated the value of large, sustainable, and perhaps audacious philanthropic endeavors. Both projects point to our individual and our shared responsibilities. And for me, the Rotary Foundation is a logical vehicle to fulfill these goals and to make an impact both locally and globally. So why give to the foundation? Our foundation, as you probably know, I meant to check, by the way, to see how many people have only been in Rotary a few years in your club, and I didn't do that, but I imagine there are people that have not had the opportunity to learn too much about the foundation yet. But one of the reasons I give to the foundation is that it's overseen by fellow Rotarians. They're called trustees of the foundation. They ensure that our donations are invested well and spent wisely. And for the 13th consecutive year, the Rotary Foundation has received the highest rating, 4 stars, from Charity Navigator, which is an independent evaluator of US charities. So this 4-star rating reflects Charity Navigator's assessment of how the foundation uses donations and practices good governance. This past year, this just came out in the annual report in 2021, we invested a lot of money in doing good around the world. I will not read this to you, but I will point out that we have our first programs of scale awarded to Partners for a Malaria-Free Zambia. This is a Rotarian-led group. The foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the World Vision USA, each of these foundations will contribute $2 million towards this project. And this project is going to add 250,000 community health workers and hopefully make a big difference. And as Ravi Ravindran, past RI president, said, the Rotary's programs of scale is encouraging our members to think big and to work with other organizations to find comprehensive solutions to large scale issues. We have a unique funding model with the Rotary Foundation, and it's one of the reasons that I think giving to the foundation makes a lot of sense. As you may know, after 3 years, about half of our donations to the annual fund are returned to the district for local Rotarians to allocate to club projects. The other half is directed by the foundation trustees to large and sustainable programs around the world, including the Peace Centers, Polio Plus, disaster response, and global grants. And I know of no other charity that returns a portion of their contributions to the donor for their own projects. And it's the contributions to the annual fund that help fund the projects designed by our district Rotarians. And this is how it works, and it's a complex slide. Mary can certainly explain it to you very well, but essentially, if you give $1,000 this year to the annual fund, it will be invested for 3 years. And then 5% will be taken off the top for operating expenses, plus the investment returns. Then the 95% is returned to projects. Half goes to the district designated funds managed by the district, and the other half goes to the World Fund, managed by the Rotary Foundation trustees. If we look at the right side of the slide, the district designated funds are further divided. 50% to district grants. These are the ones that are created, by the clubs. And the other half goes to global initiatives, things like global grants, global scholars, Peace Center, Polio Plus. So again, this is one of the reasons that I think our funding model really encourages us to give and to see the good that our work can do both locally and globally. So why give to the foundation rather than a club foundation or another charity? Of course, this is a personal decision. And again, for me, the reasons include the fact that I get a portion of the money back and I can direct where some of that money goes. But when compared to a club foundation, the reach and the impact of the Rotary Foundation is much greater. And while we don't have 100% control of the Rotary Foundation funds, we can be sure that the projects will be impactful in the 7 areas of focus. Therefore, our impact through our donations is greater than it could ever be for a local charity. When we consider our motto, service above self, or the Rotary vision statement, The Rotary Foundation is an effective vehicle to make these statements a reality. There are many options to suit your individual passions, interests, and philanthropic goals, and to help us to be socially responsible and leave a personal legacy. So what are the causes and the programs of the foundation? We now have 7 areas of focus. The newest one, of course, being protecting the environment. So all of the projects funded by the foundation will fall within these 7 areas of focus. The largest, of course, being polio eradication through Polio Plus. This was started in 1979 with a modest project in the Philippines and has grown. We, as Rotary, became a founding partner in the Global Polio Eradication Initiative in 1988. The other partners in this initiative are the WHO, CDC, UNICEF, the Gates Foundation, Gavi, and Rotary. Polio is truly a devastating disease, and it's gone from an estimated 350,000 cases in 125 countries in 1988 when we started, to just 5 cases in 2 countries today. The work does continue. We are still vaccinating about 400 million children in 40 countries each year, but the end game has been outlined. We think that we will be able to have a polio-free world by 2026. Rotary contributes $150 million annually to the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. 50 million comes from the Rotary clubs, which is matched then 2-to-1 by the Gates Foundation for a total of $150 million in Rotary's name. Contributions to Polio Plus do much more than support polio eradication. The Global Polio Eradication Initiative has established a health infrastructure that addresses other preventable diseases, things like measles and blindness, Ebola, and of course, most recently, COVID-19. Funds, I think it's important to realize that funds are managed by the WHO and UNICEF, not by the local governments, which may be rather unstable. So we know that our donations are being well managed through the WHO. And just recently in November, door-to-door vaccinations resumed in Afghanistan after having been on hiatus for a couple of years, I believe. And also early this month, there was a vaccination campaign across the porous border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Both of these activities are critical in our fight against polio, and we're delighted that things are back on track. There is an excellent World Polio Day update on YouTube if you are so inclined. I must say that early on, I was not very impressed with the polio eradication campaign. It just didn't mean a lot to me, but just before COVID struck in January of 2020, I had the honor to go to India to participate in a national immunization day. And I've learned that our mere presence, even though we didn't do that much, we were not very efficient in our vaccinations, our mere presence reinforced for the people that we saw the importance of vaccines. It also built connections with other Rotary clubs in the area. And because Rotary has had a presence in these very impoverished areas over a period of years, they pointed out to me things like the Rotary toilet was just here, and they were very proud of their very clean Rotary toilet and the work that Rotary had done. So you really can see Rotary's work in action in a situation like this, and it does change your life. I had the opportunity to be taken around by this grandmother in the hijab to my right. We did not speak the same language, and I don't even know her name, but she guided me through the whole process, and it was a really heartwarming experience. She took great care of me. Rotary Peace Centers, we know that we have one in our district, but we are very lucky because there's only one in the Western Hemisphere here at Duke and UNC. There are now a total of 7 peace centers, 5 of which provide master's degrees and 2 have certificate programs. These fellowships are fully funded by the Rotary Foundation, providing tuition and living expenses for the fellows. And this work is important in our desire to create peace across the world. We have seen, I've lost my statistics. Okay, there it is. We have had a total now of over 1,400 fellows from over 115 countries in the past 20 years. So this is our long-term commitment to peace building and to around the world. If you are interested, by the way, I know that Mary has hosted a Peace Fellow before. It's a very heartwarming experience. You get to know some people in a way you wouldn't otherwise. And there's all kinds of ways to do it. You can become a host. You could also just have them over for dinner or for a holiday meal. So I encourage you to be in touch with the Peace Center, Scott Reynolds, if you are interested in participating. Another program of the foundation is called a Global Scholarship. Rotary has a long history of providing scholarships for graduate education. And the current program is funded by a global grant. It's $30,000 for graduate study overseas in one of Rotary's 7 areas of focus. It's another way that Rotary has a long-term investment in our causes. If you know of a potential student that would be a good candidate, please reach out to me or Chris Walker. So how do you receive recognition for your gifts? We do love our banners and our pins. Well, Cary Club is doing really well. One of the things I'm asking every club is to become 100% Rotary Foundation Giving Club, TRF Club, this banner. This means that everybody has given at least $25, and on average, the donation level is $100 or more. And it can be to any number of funds. The other one that's just about the same, but a little different, is every Rotarian every year. It's again $25, but this time to the annual fund. And the average participation is $100. You guys are so close. You're 98% to goal. And I think that you thought you were 100%. So we're going to figure out where we're missing and see if we can't get you up to earn this banner this year. About this time next year, you'll receive a banner in recognition for your giving this year. There are others that you may strive to go for. 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club may be achievable for you. You're not too far away from that. Now, on an individual basis, there are pins and other ways that we can be recognized. And you can consider it in 2 fashions. Giving for use right now, kind of like a checking account, I'm going to spend right away, or giving for tomorrow, more like an IRA. So when we consider giving for today, it's to funds such as the annual fund we've mentioned before, polio, disaster response, world funds, and global grants. And one of the things on my to-do list is to write a note to the clubs to say, we've had this terrible disaster in the Midwest related to these tornadoes. Perhaps it's time for us to donate to the disaster response fund. The districts affected can apply for these grants up to $25,000 to make a difference. So it's another way the foundation can support local efforts. And when we consider the giving for tomorrow, the planned giving that supports long-term initiatives can be done in a number of ways, but most often it's done through the endowment fund. By the way, you can do this easily without having to employ an attorney to change your will. You can simply change the beneficiary designation on your IRA or on your life insurance policy to the foundation, and it makes it very easy to do. So here's what you get, your Rotary Bling. We have a brand new pin. We just ordered it. I'm not sure it's come in yet. It's called the Polio Plus Society. This is for a pledge of $100 a year to Polio Plus. This is a district level award that we are recognizing people that are committed to ongoing contributions to Polio Plus. So it's called Polio Plus Society. It's this pin. And then we have the Paul Harris Fellow pin, which is perhaps the most recognized. This is for $1,000 in a combination of cash or cash and points. And then the major donor pin, which is $10,000 or more in cash. And this little ribbon, this is called a chevron underneath the Paul Harris pin, is for your pledge to donate $1,000 a year to the annual fund, or actually it's to any of Rotary's funds. So $1,000 annual contribution. And then for those that want to be involved in longer term estate planning, there's the benefactor ribbon, which is this little thing under your Paul Harris pin that designates $1,000 in your will. And then the bequest society pin is for $10,000 or more. And it goes on up. So we mentioned, I'm not going to go into the details here because Mary understands matching and enrolling points, but I will say that you have 28 members that are 500 or fewer points away from their next Paul Harris Fellow level. That means for a contribution of $250, plus the matching points from the district, another $250 will bring them to a next level of Paul Harris Fellow. So I encourage you to check your own numbers and see if perhaps you are one of those 28 people. And the Paul Harris Society, again, is $1,000 or more a year in approved funds. And this is an important level of contribution for the foundation as a whole. Nearly 20% of the money donated to the annual fund in 19 and 20 came from Paul Harris Society members. So if $85 a month is within your reach, I encourage you to enroll, and you can enroll online. And if you're not comfortable with that, I'm sure Mary can help you out with the form. So speaking of how you donate, there's a whole bunch of different ways. I think the easiest way is Rotary Direct. You sign up through My Rotary and you click the donate button. It's really easy. And you can sign up. You have several choices. How often do you want to donate? It could be once a year, once a quarter, or once a month. And how much do you want to donate? $10 or on up to whatever your credit card will allow. And you can then change your level of contribution and the fund that you contribute to very easily online. So I encourage you to do it. It's kind of like saving for your IRA. If you make it automatic, it's really pretty painless. There are other options here also for corporate matching and so forth. For those that are looking to leave a legacy, I encourage you to reach out to past District Governor Barry Phillips, who is our endowment fund chair. He can help you navigate the sometimes tricky waters of estate planning and leaving a gift. And he has access, not only does he have a great base of knowledge, but he has access to people that understand the details at RI. This time of year, being the fact that we're thinking about the end of the year charitable donations and then taxes, I want to share with you something that I learned just recently. And this is, how do you figure out how much you have donated to the foundation? You log into My Rotary. This is, I just took a screenshot a moment ago, and you click on your name, and then it's this drop-down box. You then click on My Donations, and then down here at the bottom, there's your donor history report. And if you click on that link, it'll tell you everything that you have donated and by date. So when I'm doing my tax preparation, I go to this report because I've certainly lost a receipt somewhere along the way. And this is another way to document your gifts to the foundation. So we can make a difference through the Rotary Foundation to support projects that make a difference here and around the world. And I love this quote by Nelson Mandela. And now I think next it is my honor to present some awards. And I didn't remember to check who is actually here or not. So I will pretend everybody is either here in person or virtually, and we'll figure out the details as we go. So we have two people that have reached a new level of Paul Harris Fellow. It's the Rotary's Foundation way of expressing appreciation for substantial contributions to its program. And as you know, it's named for our founder, Paul Harris, who was a lawyer in Chicago who started Rotary in 1905. Today, we are recognizing Ernie as he becomes a Paul Harris Fellow +4. This means that he's donated at least $5,000 in his name to the foundation. And also Travis is becoming a Paul Harris Fellow +5, meaning at least $6,000 has been given in his name to the foundation. So let us congratulate these people for reaching their new levels of Paul Harris Fellow. The great achievement. And now it's my honor to recognize Dr. Zytek for becoming a major donor. And a major donor is a big deal. You don't become a major donor without having a significant commitment to the foundation giving, because here you can't use points. It's all cold, hard cash, at least $10,000 to become a major donor. So Dr. Zytek, thank you very much for your contributions to the foundation and our ongoing work. I appreciate it. And I hope that you will get your pin soon. It looks kind of like that. Thank you. And without any further ado, I want to thank you for the invitation. I'll be happy to take questions in the last seconds that we have here.
Thanks, Marie, for a very informative program on the foundation and the why, what and where, what we should be doing, and all the reasons why we need to be supporting it. So with that, Bob, are there any questions from in the room?
Not at this time.
All right, anyone? I don't see anything in chat at this point, but is there anyone that's online that would like to ask Marie a question?
Clearly was a thorough presentation. If there's either people are asleep or I've answered it all.
It definitely was a thorough and very informative. So Marie, again, thank you so much for your time and to be here with us and to help us better understand the foundation and why it's important for us as Rotarian to give to our foundation.
Thank you, Mary. And thank you for your help along the way here.
Thank you. And so, Bob, do we have a presentation we want to make to Marie?
I hate to do this to you, Mary, but you're muted.
Oh, rats.
Sorry.
No, I'm not.
I've done that. I've done that to you. I've done that to you because I think that we may have some words of thanks from Howard. Well,
Past District Governor Marie Howard, on behalf of the Cary Rotary Club, please overlook my office. This is the first time I did this virtually, but we would like to leave you with a token of appreciation for sharing so much with us about how the Rotary Foundation is making a difference in the world. We have a box of gift cards that has been sketched by one of our original founding members, Jerry Miller. Jerry is not with us today, but our secretary, Paul, will get this in the mail to you, and we wish you happy holidays and thanks again for sharing with us today.
Well, thank you. What a nice gift. Thank you.
thank you, Howard, and thank you, Governor Howard. Congratulations, Bill. I know that you're online. We're looking forward to the opportunity to present what's a beautiful award to you and Mariel in recognition of your giving history. And certainly for Ernie and Travis, we'll be want to make sure that we make an appropriate presentation when they're present. You know, I think one of the things that members of this club can be very proud of is its long history of giving and support of the foundation and all, you know, in the community in many other different ways. One of the goals that Governor Marie spoke about was 100% Paul Harris Club. And just so that you know, you'll hear more about that because Tim Mannix and Mary Cam have been working hard to design a program that will help us achieve that goal. It's amazing how wide and deep the giving is in this club. So it's congratulations to all of you. And thank you, Governor Marie. All right, before we adjourn for today, Dr. Mann stole my thunder. I was going to recognize your anniversary coming up. It's on, actually, you just recently celebrated, if I'm correct, on the 9th of December. So you've already rolled over into the next year at this point. Plan ahead, I got one coming. We've got some birthdays to celebrate as well. Our very special greeter, Tim Mannix, had a birthday. We had a chance to sing to him last week. So happy birthday again, Tim. Ben Shiver is so, well, oh yeah, it's okay, we can clap. Ben has a birthday coming up on Saturday. Happy birthday, Ben. And when you see him, we didn't recognize him at our party last week, but Ralph Ashworth had a birthday on December 2nd. So when you see him, give him a hearty handshake and a happy birthday. Great to be able to celebrate founding members. Huh? Great. All right, so next week's program, by virtue of Bill Fletcher's connections, we will be hearing from Vicki Adamson who's the vice chair of the Wake County Commissioners, and she'll be talking about the county's strategic initiatives. Thank you, Bill. Our lunch next week will be the ever popular cheeseburger with lettuce, tomato, and onion, and fries on the side. No Brussels sprouts next week. In 2 weeks, our guest, Stuart Shirk, will be with us. Thank you. Again, it's one way to get you coming back, Stuart, is to put you on the program. But we're looking forward to hearing about the challenges and opportunities of being a small business owner. And thank you, Paul, for making that arrangement. Thank you, Stuart, for joining us. Thank you, Governor Marie, for your inspiring talk. Thank you to all of us that have playing a role in growing this club from a community service activity, from a social standpoint. In this holiday season, it's always appropriate to be thankful for the gifts. And we certainly have been blessed as part of this club. So as we go back out into the world, can I ask Bill Fletcher to lead us in the four-way test?
Join me, if you will, please, in the four-way test. The things we think, say, or do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thanks again, Marie.